Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to What's on Tap podcast. I'm your host, Stefan.
I'm your host, Martin.
And we are here once again to slap some beer knowledge in your ear holes.
Yes.
And so how's your summer been so far?
Very good so far. And it can always get better.
It can always get better, and that's true. Swedish summers can be really hit or miss. It's like you read these stories about Europe, and they're like, oh, it's like 40 plus degrees, and you're just like, man, I'd just be happy it was like 20 plus degrees.
No, the summer has been absolutely fucking amazing.
Has it?
Yes.
I don't know, it's been that great.
But so
I went on vacation, and I came back, and it was not that great, so...
But when you got back, I hadn't gone on my vacation yet.
That's true. But so when I was gone, so I went to Portugal for 2 weeks this summer. And of course, when I go on vacation, I bring beers back with me. So we have a beer to feature today from Portugal. But when I was gone, apparently the weather was quite warm here.
Yes. And
the weather in Portugal was not.
Oh, no.
It was quite cloudy and rainy for about half the time we were there. And then I come back to Sweden, and all of that nice warm weather has disappeared. And so now it's just humid and slightly warm. It's the worst of both worlds.
That's the way it goes.
It's a very Swedish summer. But today,
you had more time to go to beer shops and beer bars.
Well, so here's the thing about Portugal. Not really a beer country. They make a lot of beers. There's a lot of breweries in Portugal. And that's all I'll say about that. There's not a lot of really good beer companies. There's I would say 3 probably pretty good beer companies. Duas Corvas is really good. Lupum is pretty good. They make mostly stouts and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I found that Fermentage is actually a pretty good brewery. You may have thought I was going to say Letra, because they're also Portuguese, and they're probably quite one of the larger microbreweries out of Portugal.
Yep.
I do not find them to be that good. But today, so when I was in Portugal, my family from the U.S. came over, and of course, my brother and I always exchange beers when we see each other, and he was able to leave me with a few beers. So we're going to take one beer from Arkansas and one beer from Portugal for this episode. And oddly enough, they are both in the lager category, so this should be quite fun to talk about.
That is a fun episode. Are we starting with the U.S.?
I'm going to start with the U.S. We're going to start with this Maibock. It's a pale lager from Natural State Beer Company. I believe we've talked about Natural State before in the past. So. They really focus on real traditional German styles, just really clean, crisp, fresh German-style beers. This is it's a Maibock pale lager is what it's called. It was the gold medal winner of the Great American Beer Festival 2021. So this should be interesting to try.
Yep, definitely.
Says it's got toasted malts and a spicy peppery taste from the hops.
Ooh.
And this comes in at 7.2 ABV.
7.2. It has a beautiful color, very much like golden hay.
Oh yeah, I mean it's perfect to style kind of beer.
Need to agitate a little bit to get a head on it.
Yeah.
But it's possible. It poured quite low on carbonation.
Yeah, it wasn't a hugely carbonated beer.
It smells a little bit like cereal.
Yeah, it's got that malty, grainy build to it, which you expect.
And maybe not cereal.
Coming at 7.2%, there's a slight alcoholiness on the nose, which is not unsurprising for, I think, this kind of beer. But cheers, man.
That's
I'm
right.
looking forward to
Cheers.
That's pretty good, man.
Yep.
That it's real light, real clean. You don't get the alcoholiness in the flavor or the aftertaste. I am getting some of the malt bill in the back, but it's also pretty mild. This is just a super easy beer to drink.
Yep, I agree. I think I'm getting more of the alcohol notes in the flavor, but it's not boozy. That's not what I mean. It's good. What I mean is you feel a body and a presence, not a viscous density thing. More of some gravitas.
Right. It's adding to the body and the mouthfeel. It's
Yes.
not creating like an alcohol heat burn to it.
Exactly.
There's a bit of, I would call it almost perfuminess to it. Like you can feel the hops at play here, which is really nice. I don't think they mention which hops they're going for here.
You say perfumey. I get more of a slight herbal.
Perfumey. Like I'm saying, there's there's an extra flavor component here that I wouldn't normally get. And the finish is very, it's very dry, kind of clean.
Yeah.
Just really pleasant, like makes you want to drink more kind of aftertaste, which is really great. And this is, I can see why it won some medals.
Yeah, so the Great American Beer Fest, I think, if I remember correctly, their competitions are very much geared towards the exact styles.
Exactly.
Like and whenever new styles emerge, I think they are not the festival, but the beer judges there are like involved in the creation of the styles.
Yeah. So this is where a lot of your beer standards come from. Like, is this brewed to style?
Exactly.
So
gold medal. It's probably not in. It's not in lagers. It's probably in specifically Maibocks of a certain strength range.
Yeah, that could be very possible. They get really pedantic that way there.
Yeah.
This is not. Yeah, I don't think this would be judged in the lager category. You're pretty much probably in a Maibock or Maibock specialty because of the addition of hops to it in a predominant way. But
it might be compared to Helles Bock and
could be Helles. Yeah, because they are saying it is a Helles or Hellerbock. So
yeah. Right. But gold medals are gold medals. I mean,
hey, only one's getting one, so that's a pretty good place to be. They say this is sold as a 4-pack, so that means my brother drank the other 3, which is a shame because I could really go with a couple more of these. And honestly, if I didn't know this was 7.2%, I would drink a lot of this.
I agree. So what would you give this?
Honestly, I'm going to give it 4.25.
Wow.
I think this is an exceptional beer. It's high ABV, 7.2, without being boozy. It's completely balanced. It's got a really great mouthfeel. And the aftertaste is this, like you said, herbal, dry, clean finish. I really, really like this beer.
It has a lot of interesting things going for it. For me, it's a weak 4, but it nudges the finish line to become a 4.
Hey, I think for you on the Maibock,
it's really high.
That is a really high rating for you.
But as we've said many times on the show, my lager ratings for good lagers have been creeping up since I joined the show and since we started drinking more lagers together.
I'm so proud of you.
It
shows real growth.
I think so.
All right. Well, next up is a beer that I got from Portugal. I went to the Catraio craft beer shop, and they had a lot of beers. It was a really cool place. So you go in, and they have I want to say 18 beers on tap, and the first 9 are on the first floor. The next 9, you have to go up a flight of stairs, through an outdoor grill area to the outdoor bar, covered outdoor bar. And then that also has a higher tier up as well. So it's a really nice 3-tier bar system. And then they've got a pretty extensive bottle and can list. Now they don't look it, because when you look at it, you think they've only got just a few things. But if you look at their untapped list, it's quite lengthy. And then you have to tell them what you want. And then a guy disappears, and then he just comes back with the beers that you requested.
Yes.
So they got some sort of cellar or storage area where they keep most of their beers. So they're not readily available just out on the counter for you.
No. But are those to go as well?
These are all, you can buy to go.
Yes.
So unlike Sweden, most places you go in the world, in Europe, they have bottles and cans to go from the shop.
Yeah, I know.
Which is really nice. And so they've got like a wide selection and from beers from all over the place. But of course, I was like, I'm not coming to Portugal to buy expensive beers from the UK or Amsterdam or Brussels or whatever. I'm gonna drink local.
Yes.
Because it's affordable. But also I want to see
it's fun.
I want to see what's available in the local market. And what I discovered was Fermentage is a brewery based in, I think they're actually out of Porto. I'm not 100% sure on that. No, they're from Lisbon. And they're doing some pretty good stuff with different types of fermentation and sour and stouts and just different types of beers. And where a lot of other breweries are trying and not doing so well. I went to quite a few breweries and or beer bars, and there's a wide selection of local beers, and let's just say I didn't finish everything every time I went. No. There's a lot of leftovers in the can, in the glasses. But this is 9.0 fermented oleo saccharum hoppy lager. Comes in at 6.5% ABV, and I don't know what any of those words mean, so I'm really excited to try this one. When we opened it, it was definitely bottle fermented, because it was very lively in the bottle.
Yeah, there were some premature spillage from Stefan.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
But you can always clean up anything that happens prematurely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cheers.
That's Tyler your sex tape.
So, did you say anything about the color? I was so
no. You were so excited about the idea of cleaning up my messes.
Exactly.
The color is honestly, if you put it beside the Maibock that we have, it's pretty close. It's a little cloudier, so it's not quite as clear as the Maibock. Super carbonated. There's just slightly agitated, and it just bubbles right up. So that means there's probably a lot of bottle fermentation in this one.
Yeah, there's something on the nose that I can't put my finger on.
It's probably the
that's
bacteria that they put into it to make it this.
But this nose
saccharum.
I would call perfumey.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's
try
this.
it.
All right, cheers again. It is perfumey. And there's how do you describe it? Almost like a candied flavor to it.
Yeah.
That
sweet perfumey.
Right, almost presents as off, but I'm not really sure that's what it's supposed to be. I think it's just a unexpected flavor profile.
Yeah. The aftertaste is more of this perfumey. Okay, when I said herbal for the Maibock, that was a good thing. When I say herbal for this one, it's not so good.
Yeah, it's
medicinal.
Yeah, like I said, there's a weird flavor that hovers somewhere between kind of sweet and kind of herbal or floral. And I'm not sure if it's what do you call it, a feature or
a bug.
Or a bug. I'm not familiar with what oleo saccharum is.
No.
To be able to be like, okay, well, this is the yeast or the bacteria they used in this to create these kind of compounds.
I mean, maybe this is exactly what it's supposed to taste, and we don't know it because we're not the core audience of this bacteria or these ingredients. It's giving me some wormwood bitterness, like a Swedish bisque.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't feel that it finishes that bitter myself. I find the aftertaste to be...
so not hop bitter.
No, it's not hoppy bitter.
But like Jägermeister bitter.
Yeah, that's where that sweet and herbal come together for me. It's kind of like I was thinking, it's almost like a German aperitif. Or digestive.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's called.
So Jägermeister is in the category of Kräuterbitters.
Yeah, all right.
I have a bottle that's just called Kräuterbitter that is like, imagine a worse version of Jägermeister.
Stop, you're making all my dreams come true.
But that one doesn't taste like this. It's just a hint. I'm not saying that it tastes exactly like that. There's a hint of it, and I think you nail it when you say sweetness plus herbalness, almost medicinal, kind of end up in this.
Yeah. Okay, I think what I'm going to go here is that this isn't how this beer is supposed to go.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It's too slightly off for me to think like, oh yeah, this is what they were trying to go for here. And plus the way it kind of erupted out of the bottle makes me feel maybe a little infected. But still, it's not bad. I'm going to give it a 3.
Now, I was going to go 3.25.
I was almost 3.20. You know what? We'll call it 3.25 as well. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I think that's where I kind of fell on this one.
But it gets that based on. I mean, it's interesting. Stuff is happening,
drinkable.
And
it's super drinkable. I mean, I could still drink the whole glass, and I could drink the whole bottle if I had to. Or if I was like home alone, I wouldn't have any problem drinking the bottle. But as a critical drinker, I'm thinking there's something quite kind of off around this one.
And I mean, we know what infected beer tastes like. Mm-hmm. That's not this. Yeah. Something else is going on here. It just kind of, I think it misses the mark, but it's interesting enough to not get like super low. It doesn't get defective ratings.
Exactly. That's why I think we both agree at 3.25 on this one. All right, well, that was a good episode, man. I really had fun talking about these two beers. They were both very interesting in different ways. You can find us online at What's on Tap Podcast, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you find podcasts, you can find us. Until next time,
keep drinking it, dum-dums.